This video is going to be very simple, very direct to the point, no fluff. I'm going to show you guys in visuals exactly what the business model is of people that are selling AI. You probably see these people on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn, everything talking about the power of AI, and there's a reason for it. This is not just another hype. This is not just another fad. This is something that is going to revolutionize not just the industry, but every industry over the next few years. Now, I don't know how long that this opportunity is going to last for. My personal interpretation, probably the next 36 months or so are going to be the time we have here as AI business owners and automation agencies to really help implement this and be the spearhead, giving people the example and really the tech of what this AI stuff is and how it can help them in their business. So without further ado, what I've done is I've created a little visual mind map here. Now, in this business, this is not going to be some, here's how to make your first $1 million with AI, but this is very, very simply how you can make your first few $100,000s with AI. Some people can do that in the course of a year. Some people can do it in 6 months. Some people can do it in 1 month. What really matters though is you understand this is not just something that people want to buy because it has the name AI attached to it. This is something that you must be able to show the value and demonstrate the result of what's going to happen, similar to what I'm going to do here for you guys. Now, I want you guys to see exactly what is happening here on this, similar to what I'm doing here with you guys by showing you a visual representation of exactly what you are getting. Because gone are the days where people just pay for something because the name sounds cool. You need to demonstrate exactly how this is going to benefit someone's business and overall how it's going to help make them more money or save them more time. So let's dive into it. So number one, here's where we're going to start. We're always going to want to start with what is the idea that we actually have? What is the thing that we're doing to actually create something in our business? So once we have the idea, what we then get to is we then start to create your business. Now, a lot of people get stuck on this idea. Here's what they do. They watch YouTube videos, they're just scrolling on Instagram or TikTok, and they have a million ideas. There are things that they've heard of. Let's just say it's TikTok Shop. Let's say it's these AI automation agencies. They probably heard of things like drop shipping, e-com, making money with Bitcoin, trading, you name it, everything you're getting thrown at, this is the way to become successful. The truth is that all of them work if you work. Some are easier than others, and some are all about timing. Would I go into the e-com drop shipping business right now? I probably wouldn't. Now, Bitcoin and trading, can you make money there? Sure. But the time has passed when you were making a ton of money very quickly and very easily. What I believe the new wave right now where people are making a lot of money is, it's very, very simply, it's this AI business, and I'm going to show you guys exactly why. Now, this is not meant for me to convince you to start an AI agency. I don't believe everyone should do it. But what I do believe is that if you enjoy helping people and you have the passion to really be creative and push industries forward, the tech is right here at your fingertips, and now is the easiest time you can possibly do it. So what we want to focus on here is number one, the actual business creation. Remember, this is not just something where you make a few posts on social media and then great, someone wants to get your coaching because they like your mindset. You then need to have delivering or fulfillment on whatever it is that you're actually offering. In business, you really have three factors. You have your marketing, which is the top of the funnel, get people to know who you are. You can attract people through cold outreach, through attraction-based marketing like organic content. Then after that, you have your sales process. This is going to be you either booking a sales call, selling via chat, having a sales agent do it for you. Whatever it is, the business has to have some way to convert those prospects into buying customers. After that, you have the fulfillment. For example, before I got into AI automation, what I was doing is I ran my own high-ticket sales and NLP certification company. So I was getting people enrolled to what I was doing from podcasts, LinkedIn, Facebook, YouTube, everything. They'd come find out who I am and what I can do. And then after I've done all the marketing and I've got them on a sales call to sell them, now I need to deliver on a 3, 6, or 12-month coaching service. Here's how you guys are going to do that. With your business creation, you're going to focus on a few key factors. Number one, what is your background? So what exactly are you good at? For me, I was very good at sales and teaching sales. That led me to starting my insurance agency. And in about 2 years, we built a 7-figure insurance agency where I was able to teach and coach a lot of different people on sales. I got very good at recruitment. I got very good at being able to structure the organizational aspects of business. I leverage that now to what I'm doing. So what is that for you? Maybe you're someone who's naturally just very, very creative or very structured with high attention to detail. Or maybe you're not those, so you need some help in those areas. That is okay. But what is your relevant knowledge? Does your family come from, or do you come from a family of real estate agents or HVAC technicians or plumbers or roofers? What exactly do you know and who do you know? What industries are they in? And then that leads us down to, what is the industry info we need to learn? AKA, what are the biggest objections? What are the biggest problems here? And what are the things that they're actually struggling with? Because with AI automation, you don't just plug in some AI chatbot and say, here you go. You need to sell based on a solution, but the only way you know what the solution is by identifying what the problem is. When you can identify what the problem is, you then have a business to build. Because when you're going into this right here, your business creation, this can't just be, I want to create a business on AI to build websites. Cool, great, but why are you building the websites? Who are they for? Who is your ideal customer? And once we understand this, and the way to understand this is through that market research and competition analysis or competitor analysis. What are other people doing? Is there really a market for this? Again, going back to here, if I'm going to start a business in e-com, is that going to be as profitable or as easy to scale based on the economy right now? Once we have that, what we then transition into is going to be simultaneously, as we have the business creation, we then go to your offer creation. And the best way to create an offer is by understanding, where are you at? Are you an expert in this field or are you a noob? To be honest, I think the term expert is thrown around way too often, but humbly, I have to admit, I was an expert in sales psychology, communication, and neurolinguistic programming. And I own those titles, I own these, so now they are in my business model, where I'm able to teach people these things because I got very, very good at it, not because I was so blessed or talented, but because I'd spent so much time, money, and energy studying. So from here, what you do if you're an expert is you go straight into your data testimonials. So I got a bunch of people to make testimonial videos saying pretty much what my skill level was and how I helped them with my sales coaching. From that, I was able to make video content. And this is when we start to get into your strategy. Now, what I'm doing is I'm either creating my video content through things like, go over here, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube Shorts, as well as my written content with things like LinkedIn and Facebook. Now, having a video strategy is great because you do one video and you can do something simple as this. One video that you then cut and repurpose into TikTok, Instagram Reels, and then YouTube Shorts. And the cool part here is that this one video that you're making could be a YouTube video. And what I like to do, I have this YouTube video, and in this YouTube video, I then rip that audio and I put that on my podcast platform. So one YouTube video turns into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces of content with one video you're doing. So the same way some people here are watching me create this video live on YouTube, others are not going to see my face at all, but they're going to hear it on a podcast. Others are going to hear 30-second clips on these platforms, which is then going to funnel them to the informational side of my YouTube. So this is getting into our whole content strategy plan. But before we do that, I'm going to take us back over here to the plan we have right here. Okay, now as mentioned, what we want to focus on, what is the business problem overview that we're actually focused on? Now, let's just say that I'm talking to a realtor. For example, if I'm talking to a realtor, their problems, their struggles are going to be different than if I'm talking to someone who does plumbing. Okay, here's an example. A realtor, they might only show 5 houses a month. Make this a little bit smaller. 5 houses a month. So they have a bunch of extra time and their main desire is probably going to be leads. So now I'm going to then figure out the how. How are you getting leads now? Where are you getting them from? Is it organic? Is it paid? I'm going to figure out who is their ideal client. Is it someone who's moving from California to Tennessee and they focus on getting people that are moving from a certain state here? Or are they just focused on someone that's local? Now, where are they servicing? Is it just a small city, a county? Where are they actually getting their business at? Now, if I'm going into plumbing, where the issue here for a realtor might be lead flow, for plumbing, it might be the fact that they have enough leads, but they're missing calls. And this is really the bread and butter of an AI automation agency here. They could be missing calls because they're actually either doing the job, or they're sleeping. And an example of that, let's say the lead fills out a form at 8 p.m. They're already closed from business hours from 9 to 5. Now they're not going to call that lead back until 9 a.m. Almost 12 hours later, the lead is gone. They're going to miss the opportunity. So now I'm going to sell to this person based on speed to lead is going to be the selling point for a plumber. But for a realtor, we might be running paid ads for them, building them a web page to make sure that they're credible and helping them rank and get more clients. So the way that we sell to people is completely different, but the only way that I'm going to know that is based on our business problem overview. I need to find the exact problems in the business that they're having right now. Okay, then we get into the fun part here, which is going to be our tech stack. Now from here, what I'm going to be focused on is what am I creating? And maybe you're someone who wants to create voice agents. And I'm going to give you guys an example of a voice agent that I created right here because I want you guys to be able to hear it live. It's a lot different being able to hear how the process works. So check this out.
Hey, this is Jasmine with Cody's Roofing Solutions. How can I help you?
Yeah, hey, I'm just curious to get some information on prices for roofs.
Sure, I can help with that. Pricing can vary a lot depending on the size of your roof, the materials used, and, any specific damage we might find up there. The thing is, well, insurance often covers storm damage, so it could actually cost you a lot less than you think. Let me ask you this. Would you be open to a free inspection so we can give you a more accurate estimate?
Maybe. I'm kind of just looking for some prices right now.
Gotcha, I hear you. You're just trying to get a ballpark before diving in. Totally makes sense. So typically, a new roof can range anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000, depending on the details. But here's the thing. A lot of our customers end up paying much less because insurance covers storm damage. And honestly, that range isn't super helpful without knowing what condition your roof's in. How about this? You let us take a quick look for free, no pressure, and then we can tell you exactly what you're looking at. Would that work?
Yeah, that's fair. So as you can see right there, the AI voice agent is specifically designed to give value, build rapport, give information, but not do too much. The main job is to transfer that lead to an actual live agent or to a live representative or book an appointment on a calendar so someone can go out there and inspect that roof. So now if we take plumbing, for example, how many more opportunities is this plumber going to have to get jobs if it has someone qualifying the leads and booking appointments for it? And same for realtors. So now once we build our tech stack, usually the combination that I like is going to be a voice agent, just like the one you heard there, Jasmine, a chat bot, so we can integrate this directly to the website. And now this person, use a realtor, they have a very high level of prestige and they're able to qualify their prospects and get people to actually book leads. For example, if someone would have just landed on their website and just clicked around or looked to see what was there, now they're starting to actually build a higher level of value in wanting to have their service. So as we're doing that, we really start to get into the main process of getting the whole top of funnel to happen here. A lot of people, they neglect, as I want to take a step back, they neglect the sales process of this. So as I'm working with my clients, I always do this first, and this is what you want to do for yourself as well. You want to analyze what exactly are your sales skills. Not just do you think you're good at talking to people or are you good at sales for some random reason, but the simple and the very, very objective reality, have you sold high ticket? If you're going to convince someone to give you $1,000 to $5,000 for the upfront fees, and then some sort of retainer, let's just call it $300 to $1,500 a month, why would that person pull out their credit card and metaphorically swipe it or give you their card numbers and allow you to take thousands of dollars based on just you being a good talker or you thinking you can sell? That's not the reality. If you've never sold high ticket, this is where I think that most people miss the ball. They come from e-commerce or drop shipping, social media marketing, or whatever the case is, and they think that it's going to be the same thing here. Or they know how to use they know this part, the techie part of AI, but they've very really negligently failed to realize that the sales aspect of it is what is actually going to make the prospects want to work with you. So from sales, we're going to have our cold traffic or our organic. So cold, this could be by running paid ads. I would not recommend starting with this unless you have a ton of money to blow initially. You got to get your offer fully dialed in and make sure that it's validated. You can do paid ads, you can do cold outreach like email, you can do DMs, and you can even make calls. Organic, this is going to be pretty much your social media. So from there, your whole job to move people along the funnel, if you think about it like this, then you kind of work them down the funnel, is you're going to have your traffic. And again, we just broke down cold or warm. And I'm a sales guy. I'm a communication guy. I'm not a designer, so don't judge me for this. Then you're going to have your sales calls. And what I help people do is identify a few things. Number one, what is the show up rate like? And here's how to start judging. In business, you always want to have an understanding of what are your KPIs, your key performance indicators. So here's what I mean by that. Going down this funnel, okay? So traffic, sales, sales calls. Then from there, next part in the funnel is your shows. Then this horrible drawing, but you kind of get the idea, closes. Okay, make it a little bit easier for you guys to read. So KPIs now. If I have, just say I send out 50 DMs. Out of the 50 DMs, let's just say I get 10 responses. Okay, now what I know I have is a 20% response rate. And this is very important to know as a business owner. From there, let's say that I'm able to get 3 calls booked. Or you know what, let's just go simple numbers, 5 calls booked. 5 calls booked. Okay, so from here, what I know I'm gonna have is gonna be a 10% booking rate. Out of the 5 calls booked, let's just say that 2 people actually show up for a call. 2 people show up for a call, and let's say I close 1. Now I know I need to send 50 DMs to get 10 people to respond to me. Do this like this, to get 10 people to respond to me, to then book 5 calls. I know 3 people are probably not just gonna show up. I'm gonna have 2 of them out of the 5 actually show up, and I'm gonna have 1 close here. So overall, the more of an understanding you have on your KPIs, the more you're able to judge your business. So what I'm doing when I'm helping people identify this is we break down all their KPIs, and really what this is for in the initial stages of business, this is just for data tracking. Is getting the sale great? Absolutely. Is getting a close great? 100%. But more importantly, what this is, the big FB, not Facebook, but feedback. We need to be able to have your data, because then this leads us to arguably the most important part of what I help people with, which is sales calls training. Because now, out of the 2 people that showed up, we now have 2 calls to actually review. And here's where this starts to get juicy. If we're able to have, let's just say that this is done on a 3 times a week average. If we can have on average 3 a week of this going down, we now start to have a movement. We start to have traction. If you do this one time, nothing's going to happen. Your life is not going to be changed. This does take a bit of time to do. I'm not the person that believes that you're going to make a ton of money overnight, and this is something that you just learn how to sell a voice agent or how to sell a chatbot, and all of a sudden your problems are solved. I don't believe that. What I do believe, though, is that this is something that you need to start to have your data track for. The reason why most people fail in business is because they have no idea what they're doing. They're winging it. There's no content strategy. There's no strategy for getting people interested in what they're doing. There's no strategy for their sales. The only strategy they have is, I'm going to wake up today and try to learn something. And you've probably been that person where you're endlessly scrolling on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram. You're just mindlessly looking for what you're going to do. And maybe you try to start your own AI automation agency, or if you've gotten into AI, you start to learn a little bit of VAPI or Make or N8N or Synthflow or retail. You're learning these different platforms and sites, but you're not putting anything together. It's because you don't have a structured system on how you're going to actually do it. Because if you did, you probably would have had something going. So now, if we have this at 3 times a week where you're doing the system, we then have 150 DMs going out a week. Then we know that we're going to have about 6 people show up. And then if the numbers are the same, what this means is that we're going to have roughly about 3 closes. Okay. Obviously the closes are great, but more importantly, these 6 people here, what I'm now getting is going to be 6 call recordings to listen to. So when I'm working with my clients that I sign up for this, we're able to listen to call recordings. Because now if we listen to 6 call recordings, I'm identifying a few things. Number one, where was the call lost? Where was the call lost? And this is very simple. It could be that what happened is that the client had an objection and you did not know how to overcome the objection. It could have been that they said something and you took it into a whole different direction that didn't satisfy their real concern. At this point, I've listened to probably over 300 or 400 different phone calls from probably 25 or 30 different industries. This right here is what I specialize in, is getting people very, very good at sales by listening to their calls and helping them actually level up and max out. So if you've been starting your AI automation agency for a while, you've been trying to get it going, or you just want some help getting this business model started, I'd be honored to help you out. What I do is I take people on either a 3 or 6 month package, and we work together in depth, hand in hand. And we're going to be working on all these things. We're going to be helping take this idea that you might have, turning that into a business by focusing on every one of these facts. And what I've seen, I've done a lot of market research and a lot of competitor analysis. A lot of people teach you what software they use. Here's what it is. Here's some templates. Here's what to post. Send a bunch of DMs and emails. And that's the extent of it. But what they can't teach you is the very high ticket psychology that you need to actually make these sales happen. Because people don't just buy tech. No one wants a website. They want what the website can do. No one cares about the voice agent. They care that can save them time. No one wants a chatbot, but they care how that can turn into more leads for them. You need to know the very specifics on how to results-based sell. So if you want my guidance to help you turn this thing into an actual business or get yours scaled up, message me the word system either on Instagram or drop a comment here below, and I'd be happy to help get on a call with you, or you can book directly the link in my calendar to speak to me one-on-one, not my team, but me directly. Hope to hear from you soon. Bye-bye.